Hello folks, it's Dave. It's a nice summer day in Seattle and I am sitting on the veranda and doing a VR for Dan's vintage baseball PC. Dan is celebrating 3 years on YouTube, and as part of his 3-year celebration, he's asking for VRs about what one card defines our baseball collection and collecting. I did something similar the other day, a VR for JW's Dugout, who asked what card perhaps started our collecting, as I recall it, and I showed this 1957 Topps Dick Donovan card, and you can see that's well loved. And I showed that, but I think Dan is asking for something slightly different. And the way I understand it is a card that sort of encapsulates or embodies our collection. And I guess I want to show this 1958 Topps Mickey Mantle card. I collected this one in 1958. I don't recall precisely opening a pack or getting it, but Mickey Mantle was one of my favorite players back in those days. On TV, there was essentially one game a week, Saturday baseball game of the week or something like that. Dizzy Dean and Pee Wee Reese were the broadcasters, and I loved watching that, and largely the Yankees were the game of the week. The Yankees and somebody else. Rarely the Yankees weren't part of that broadcast because they had been champions so often and everybody loved the Yankees, I guess. And I had no team in the Northwest, and so I adopted the Yankees. And so I picked up this card. You can see it is also well loved, and started my collecting journey. Probably the only fingerprints in this card are those of a little boy and maybe my teenage sons as they were sleeving up all these for me when they were younger and were appalled by these cards just being in a shoebox or something. So with this card and others of 1958, started my collecting. I collected as many cards as I could of as many different players as I could in 58, 59, 60, a little bit in 61 and 62 and 63. I'm not sure why 61, 63 didn't collect quite as many, but 58, 59, 60, and 62 are the main years. And here in the last 5 years or so, I have been working on these sets to try to complete them. Back in those days, didn't really get high number series cards at our store. But 1958 had a little more mobility. Parents let us get out a little more. I was a 9-year-old boy, so I guess that was old enough to go out by ourselves with your friends and go up to the drugstore and buy cards. So, Dan, congrats on 3 years. Super. I know none of us are fooled by that fancy name, but enjoy watching your channel, telling stories about cards and telling stories with friends. So congrats again. I appreciate you all watching this. You all come back now. Here.